Millionaire locks himself in office after divorce, until a cleaner's nightly tea warms his heart. The tea was still warm when Michael found a note that would change everything. For 6 months, he'd locked himself in his office after his wife took half his fortune and all of his heart. But tonight, someone had been in his sanctuary. Someone who left behind a simple cup of tea and 7 words that made him question if he'd been wrong about everything. Let me tell you how the richest man in the city learned that money can't buy what matters most. Michael Stone owned 3 towers that touched the clouds. His bank account had so many zeros, even he lost count. But on that cold January night, he sat alone in his corner office, staring at divorce papers that made him poorer in ways money couldn't fix. "Sir," his assistant knocked. "It's past midnight. Should I call your driver?" "Go home, Janet. I'm staying." That's what he said every night now. The office became his home. The leather couch became his bed. Work became his only friend. 6 months earlier, Sarah had looked at him across their marble kitchen counter. "You love your money more than me," she said. "I'm done being second place to your bank account." He laughed then. Actually laughed. "Everything I do is for us." "No, Michael. Everything you do is for you." The divorce was quick. She took 20 million and left. He kept the rest and felt empty. Now he lived in his office. Why go home to a mansion full of ghosts? Every night was the same. Work until his eyes burned. Sleep on the couch. Wake up and repeat. The cleaning crew knew to work around him, like he was just another piece of furniture. But tonight was different. A cup sat on his desk. Steam rose from it like tiny clouds. Earl Grey tea. He could smell it from across the room. Next to it, a folded paper towel with words written in blue pen. Even the strongest buildings need someone to care for them. Michael's hand shook. Someone had been at his desk. Someone had made him tea. Someone had cared. He looked around the empty office. The cleaners had already gone. The building was silent except for the hum of computers and his own heartbeat. The tea tasted perfect. Not too hot, not too sweet. Like whoever made it knew exactly how he liked it. But that was impossible. He'd never told anyone how he took his tea. Sarah used to make it wrong on purpose. Too much sugar, just to annoy him. The next night, Michael waited. He pretended to work, but watched the door. At exactly 11:47 p.m., she walked in. The cleaner was young, maybe 25. Her uniform was too big, hanging off her small frame. She pushed her cart quietly, emptying trash cans like she was trying not to exist. When she reached his desk, she jumped. "Oh, Mr. Stone, I'm so sorry. I thought you were asleep." "The tea," he said. "Was that you?" Her face turned red. "I'm sorry. I won't do it again. Please don't tell my boss. I need this job." "No, Michael stopped. When was the last time he'd said thank you to anyone? It was nice." She smiled then, and something in his chest moved. "My grandmother always said tea fixes everything, even broken hearts." Before he could respond, she hurried away with her cart. The next night, the tea appeared again, this time with a chocolate cookie and a note. "Sweet dreams are made of chocolate." Michael actually smiled. He couldn't remember the last time his face had done that. Night after night, the tea appeared. Sometimes with cookies, sometimes with little sandwiches. Always with notes that made him feel seen. "The moon is beautiful tonight. Look up." Your laugh echoes in the halls. The building misses it. Heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they wear expensive suits. Michael started leaving earlier meetings to make sure he was there when she arrived. They began talking. Her name was Emma. She cleaned offices at night to pay for her sister's medical bills. Her parents died when she was 15. She'd raised her sister alone. "Why do you make me tea?" he asked one night. Emma stopped mopping. "Because sadness shouldn't be faced alone. And you looked like you were drowning in it." "I have everything," he said. "No," she said softly. "You have money. That's not everything." She was right. Michael had millions, but ate dinner alone. He owned 3 homes, but slept on an office couch. He could buy anything, but couldn't purchase what he'd lost. "My wife said I loved money more than her," he admitted. Emma wrung out her mop. Did you? The question hit like ice water. I thought making money was showing love. Every deal I closed, every million I made, it was for our future. But was she in that future? Or just the money? Michael couldn't answer. Weeks passed. The tea ritual continued. But now they talked while she cleaned. Emma told him about her dreams of opening a bakery. He told her about growing up poor, how he promised himself he'd never be hungry again. Being hungry for food is one thing, Emma said. Being hungry for love is worse. One night, Michael brought Chinese takeout. They ate together, him in his $1,000 suit, her in her cleaning uniform. She laughed at his jokes. He listened to her stories. For 2 hours, his office felt warm. You're different, she said, throwing away the containers. Less like a statue, more like a person. You did that, he said. No, you did. I just made tea. But it was more than tea. It was someone caring, without wanting anything back. Emma never asked for money, never hinted at needing help, never looked at him like a wallet with legs. Then came the night that changed everything. Michael arrived early, excited to see her. But Emma wasn't there. A different cleaner, an older man, pushed the cart. Where's Emma? Michael asked. Called in sick. Her sister's in the hospital again. Michael's chest tightened. Emma never missed work. Never. He found her the next day at City General, sleeping in a plastic chair beside her sister's bed. Her sister, Lucy, couldn't be older than 16. Machines beeped around her. What happened? He whispered. Emma's eyes were red. Her kidneys are failing. We're on the transplant list, but... She shrugged. Lists don't care if you're dying today. What about private treatment? With what money? I make $12 an hour. Insurance covers some, but the good doctors, the ones who could help now. She wiped her eyes. I should get back to work tonight. I can't afford to miss. Stop, Michael said. Just stop. He made 3 phone calls. By evening, Lucy was moved to a private room. The best kidney specialist in the state was reviewing her case. Treatment would start immediately. Emma stared at him. I can't pay you back. I don't want you to. Then why? Michael thought about all those nights. The tea. The notes. The warmth she brought to his cold life. Because you showed me that being rich means nothing if you're poor in spirit. Because you gave me something money can't buy. Tea? She asked, almost smiling. Hope, he said. Emma hugged him then, crying into his expensive suit. He held her and realized this. This moment, this connection, this feeling of matching to someone. This was wealth. But life has a way of testing us when we think we've found our answers. 2 weeks later, Lucy was improving. Emma had returned to work, though Michael insisted she take time off. They had grown closer, but something unspoken hung between them. Then Sarah walked into his office. His ex-wife looked exactly the same. Perfect hair, designer dress. Diamonds he'd bought her still on her fingers. Hello, Michael. What do you want, Sarah? She sat down uninvited. I made a mistake. I want to come back. The words he dreamed of hearing for 6 months now felt like poison. I've been seeing someone, Sarah continued. A doctor. He was kind, attentive, everything you weren't. But last week, I found out he's been lying. He's married, has 3 kids. She laughed bitterly. I left you for an illusion. I'm sorry that happened to you. Are you? Because I'm not. She leaned forward. It made me realize what I had. What we had. We can fix this, Michael. I know we can. No. No. Just like that. Just like that. Sarah's face hardened. Is there someone else? There is, isn't there? She stood pacing. Who is she? Another CEO? A model? Who could possibly? The door opened. Emma walked in with her cleaning cart, saw Sarah, and froze. I'm sorry, Mr. Stone. I'll come back. No, Michael said. Stay. Sarah looked at Emma's uniform and laughed. You're rejecting me for the help. The words hung in the air like poison gas. Emma's face went white. She turned to leave, but Michael stood up so fast his chair fell over. Don't you dare, he said to Sarah. Don't you dare look at her like she's less than you. She cleans toilets, Michael. She cleans up messes, including the one you left behind. Emma was already at the door. I should go. Emma, wait. But she was gone, her cart abandoned in the doorway. Sarah smiled like a snake. Well, that was easy. Now let's talk about us. Get out. Michael, get out. Sarah left, but the damage was done. Emma didn't come back that night. Or the next. Or the next. The older cleaner returned. No tea. No notes. Just empty nights and the echo of Sarah's cruel words. Michael tried calling the cleaning company. Emma had quit. No forwarding information. He went to the hospital, but privacy rules meant they couldn't tell him anything about Lucy or her sister. For the first time in his life, his money was useless. He couldn't buy his way to Emma. He couldn't purchase her forgiveness. He couldn't trade his millions for one more cup of tea and a conversation that made him feel human. 2 weeks passed. Michael threw himself back into work, but it felt hollow. Every deal he closed reminded him of Emma's words. Money isn't everything. Then, on a rainy Thursday, Janet knocked on his door. Sir, there's a young woman here. Says she has something of yours. His heart jumped. Send her in. But it wasn't Emma. It was Lucy, walking slowly but walking. Alive. Healthy. Mr. Stone. Her voice was small. I'm Lucy. Emma's sister. How are you? Are you okay? Thanks to you, yes. She held out an envelope. Emma wanted me to give you this. Inside was a check. His check. The one he'd written for Lucy's treatment. Uncashed. I don't understand, he said. Lucy sat down carefully. Emma won't take your money. She says what you gave her was worth more than this. But what you gave her, you took back. What did I give her? Dignity. Respect. The feeling that she mattered as a person, not just as someone who cleaned your office. Lucy's eyes, so like her sister's, filled with tears. Then your ex-wife reminded her what the world really thinks. Michael felt sick. Where is she? Working 3 jobs now to pay back the hospital. She won't use your money. Says it would make her exactly what that woman said. The help, taking handouts from the rich man. That's not what it was. Wasn't it? Lucy asked quietly. Can you honestly say you saw her as an equal? Or was she a project? Someone to save so you could feel good about yourself? The question cut deep because Michael couldn't answer it. Not honestly. Lucy stood to leave. She loved you, you know. Not your money. You. The man who ate Chinese food on the floor with her. The man who laughed at her bad jokes. The man who existed before your ex-wife walked in and reminded everyone of their place. After Lucy left, Michael sat in his office until dawn. For the first time, he really thought about his life. About Sarah's words. About his own actions. Had he seen Emma as an equal? Or had he been the rich man playing savior? The answer hurt. He'd fallen for Emma because she treated him like a person, not a bank account. But had he treated her the same way? Or was she right to run when Sarah exposed the truth, that deep down, he still saw the world in terms of who had money and who didn't? Michael made a decision. He started with the cleaning company. Not as Michael Stone, millionaire. Just as Mike, looking for night work. They were hiring. The pay was $12 an hour. The hours were 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. You sure about this? The manager asked. It's hard work. I'm sure. His first night, Michael learned what Emma did every day. His back screamed. His hands blistered. His knees ached from scrubbing floors. But he kept going. Night after night, he cleaned offices. He became invisible to the people working late. Just another uniform pushing a cart. He heard how they talked about the help. He felt what it was like to be looked through instead of looked at. 3 weeks in, he was assigned to a new building. A small medical clinic on the east side. He pushed his cart through the door and froze. Emma was there, mopping the lobby. She looked up, saw him, and dropped her mop. What are you doing here? Working, he said simply. This is a joke, right? Some rich person game. No joke. No game. He showed her his hands, blistered and raw. I've been doing this for 3 weeks. Why? Because you were right. I had money, but I was poor. Because I needed to understand what I couldn't see from my tower. He stepped closer. Because I missed you. Emma shook her head. You don't belong here. Neither do you. You belong in a bakery, making people happy with your food and your kindness. But you're here. So I'm here too. Michael. Mike, he corrected. Just Mike. The guy who likes Earl Grey tea with 1 sugar and laughs at your jokes and thinks you're the most amazing person he's ever met. Your ex-wife was right. I'm just the woman who saved me, Michael finished. The woman who saw a broken man and chose to care. The woman who taught me that wealth isn't measured in dollars. Emma was crying now. I can't be your charity case. You're not. You never were. He took her hands. I'm the charity case. I'm the one who needed saving. And you saved me with tea and kindness and truth. What are you saying? Michael got down on 1 knee, right there in the medical clinic lobby, in his janitor's uniform. I'm saying I love you. Not as a rich man loving a cleaner. As Mike loving Emma. As one person loving another. You're on your knees in dirty water. Emma laughed through her tears. Best place I've ever been. She pulled him up and kissed him. It tasted like hope and Earl Grey and new beginnings. They finished their shift together, mopping and talking and planning. Michael told her about selling one of his buildings, about starting a fund for hospital workers' families, about maybe, possibly, investing in a bakery. Partners, Emma asked. Equal partners, Michael promised. As the sun rose, they walked out together. 2 cleaners in uniform, holding hands. You know you don't have to keep doing this job, Emma said. I know, but I want to, for a while at least. He squeezed her hand. It reminds me of what's important. What's that? That the best things in life aren't things. They're people who see your worth when you can't see it yourself. 6 months later, Emma's kitchen opened its doors. The bakery served tea and comfort to anyone who needed it. In the back office, 2 desks sat side by side, one for the baker, one for the investor. On the wall hung a framed paper towel with 7 words. Even the strongest buildings need someone to care for them. Sarah came by once, curious about Michael's new life. She found him behind the counter, serving tea to construction workers on their break. You gave up everything for this, she asked. Michael looked around. At Emma teaching a child to frost cookies. At Lucy doing homework in the corner. At the warm space filled with laughter and the smell of fresh bread. No, he said. I gave up nothing for everything. Sarah left without ordering. That night, as they cleaned up together, Emma made Michael tea. Perfect as always. Regrets? She asked. He thought about his 3 towers, now down to 2. About his smaller bank account. About the life he'd left behind. Only one, he said. Emma's face fell. What? That it took me so long to realize that being rich has nothing to do with money. He pulled her close. And everything to do with having someone who makes you tea when the world feels cold. Emma smiled. That same smile that had saved him all those months ago. Good thing I make excellent tea. The best, he agreed. Outside, snow began to fall. Inside, the bakery was warm and full of love. 2 people who'd found each other in the most unlikely place, a cold office and a cup of tea, had built something money couldn't buy. They had each other. They had purpose. They had a life measured not in millions, but in moments of genuine connection. And every night, no matter how busy the bakery got, Emma made Michael tea. And every night, he remembered the cleaner who'd seen past his money to his heart, and loved him anyway. Because sometimes the richest people are those who understand that wealth isn't what you have in your bank. It's who you have in your life. And Michael Stone, who once owned 3 towers and an empty heart, now owned 1 less building but a full life. He learned the most expensive lesson of all. Love doesn't care about your net worth. It only cares about your worth as a human being. And thanks to a cleaner who dared to care, he'd finally learned the difference. What did you think of Michael and Emma's story? Have you ever had someone unexpected change your life with a simple act of kindness? Drop a comment below and let me know what touched your heart the most. Was it Emma's quiet courage in showing kindness to someone who seemed to have everything? Or Michael's journey from a man who measured life in dollars to someone who learned that the best things can't be bought? If this story made you feel something, if it reminded you that kindness matters more than money, that love sees past our differences, or that sometimes the smallest gestures create the biggest changes, then hit that subscribe button and join our family of story lovers. Every day, I share emotional stories that remind us what it means to be human. Stories about love, loss, redemption, and the unexpected moments that change everything. Because in a world that often feels cold, we all need reminders that warmth still exists. So subscribe now, hit the notification bell, and never miss a story that might just change the way you see the world. Because the next cup of tea someone offers, you might be the beginning of your own beautiful story. Until next time, remember, be someone's Emma. Make the tea. Leave the note. Show the kindness. You never know whose life you might save.